Now that I've had a chance to sort of calm down and think about things from my earlier rant about the Carolina Panthers, talking about how I'm done with them, not watching them anymore, and things like that, I've decided that I am 100% standing on what I said about this team. 100% standing on it. Maybe I should have kept the hat on because the hair ain't looking so good. So let's just do this. Still hide that Batman symbol hairline. Anyway, okay, now we're just messing up everywhere. Anyway, I'm standing on what I said, of course, because there's only so much you can take. Today, I've never heard people overreact to week one as much as I have today. I've never heard such a big overreaction. And that's just a little something we're going to talk about tonight because we got time and we'll just talk about it. Now, if you watched my last video, I just want to let you know, my overreaction is valid. If you're a Raider fan and you're overreacting, calm down. Y'all will be all right. Dallas fans just heard that Dak needs surgery. Even if he didn't, I would say that you have a valid reason to overreact as well because the team just does not look good. They don't look good at all. Even before Dak got injured, Jerry just announced that he'll be out several weeks with a thumb. I don't even know what I was about to say, but a thumb injury. Who else? Patriot fans, I don't know. I never had them in the playoffs. Bengal fans, you should be fine. Just stop turning the ball over. Don't overreact. Who else we got today that lost? I said Raider fans. The Saints came back to win. Eagles won. Yeah, but Cardinals, y'all need to get it together. But as a Panther fan, this is 100% not an overreaction because there's only so much of this that you can take. I've seen it on Twitter. Everybody's lighting up what happened in this game. Everybody's fed up in Panther Nation about what happened. There's only so much of this that you can take before you just decide, I'm done. And me, I've decided I'm done until further notice, until and if they get a record good enough to where the wins are separated from the losses, where the win outweighs the losses. I'm not watching next week. I won't be able to watch next week anyway against the Giants because I'll be camping. But I refuse to subject myself to this team by watching this. I was excited all off season, bringing content about them, and they just come out and lay an egg. And it's 100% not an overreaction. Because you can't lose that. As soon as they got that ball down the field in the red zone and they settled for that field goal, I knew what was about to happen. I don't want to hear anything about the roughing the passer that shouldn't have been called or whatnot. The Panthers should not have lost that game. It is not to say that Cleveland is a bad team because they're not. Clearly, the Browns are a great team. Clearly, they are threats to win it all if Deshaun Watson is back and ready to go. They have all the pieces. But Carolina had that game. And it just reminds me of, in 2018, they started 6-2. I know Cam got injured after that Thursday night game when TJ Watt planted him into the ground and his shoulder was never the same. But Carolina won just one game after that and finished 7-9 after a 6-2 start. 2019, they start 0-2. And then they go on to win, what was it like? They go on to be like 5-2. Let's look at it. I know I have it somewhere close right here. 2019 started 0-2. And then, they were 4-2. And then only won one game after that to finish 5-11. 2020 started 0-2. Went on a 3-game win streak and only won one game after that to finish 5-11 again. Last season, 3-0. And then went on to win just 2 games after that, another 5-win season. 15 wins in 3 years. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who didn't even win the Super Bowl last year, won 14 total games that counted. 13 in the regular season and 1 postseason game. Meanwhile, we have 15 in 3 years, and they won 14 last year. I'm done. I've seen this story way too many times before. And to me, it dates back to like 2012 when they finished 7-9. I look at right here, the Giants game, they lost 36-7. Never really had a chance in that game. I remember that game. They did score the first touchdown, and the Giants took off from there. They played Denver and lost 36-7, 36-14. Never had a chance in that game. But every other game, they pretty much lost. Lost to the Bucs 16-10, lost to the Falcons 30-28, Seahawks 16-12, Cowboys 19-14, Bears 23-22. Buccaneers 27-21 in overtime, Kansas City Chiefs 27-21. So realistically, they could have had 14 wins that season. And I'm over here saying, well, we lost a lot of close games that we could have won, so we're not a bad team. When in reality, you are what your records say you are. If you can't win the close games, then you're not a good team. If you have a bad record in those games. They were 7-9. And I was just being deceived, like just trying to hang on because this is my team. 2013, they start 1-3. I was fed up then, but then they went on to reel it off and go 12-4. But we just talked about 2019, 2020, and 2021. All these seasons where they're showing this promise, and then they go on after the entire season, they're just a 5-win team. And that's what it's looking like this year. I'm not taking any more of these close losses. Soon as they went down there in their red zone, they should have scored a touchdown. And when they did it and they settled for that field goal, I knew it was over. And I knew that I would not watch another Panther game this season unless they have a winning record where the wins are separated from the losses. And I'm comfortable enough to say they're going to make the playoffs. And it's not being a bandwagon fan. I've been a Panther fan way too long to be subjected to this nonsense. Every season, I got to subject myself to them just barely losing. Moral victories. I'm not taking that crap no more. I invest my time into watching them. I pay for jerseys. I pay for merchandise. This ain't a Panther gear, but I got a lot of Panther gear. So I'm not subjecting myself to that no more, bro. Because it's unacceptable to have that much talent. On the outside, you have people looking at the Panthers, looking at me saying, what am I thinking why do I think this is a playoff team? That's because they don't watch the Panthers. The Panthers have the talent. And if you watch the Panthers, if you root for the team and you know the team, you know that any other coach that's capable of coaching can come in and turn this thing around real fast. This team is not a bad football team, talent-wise. They're just bad because they can't put it all together. It's a struggle watching them. It's a struggle that I'm not going through this year. I'm not watching another Panther game this season unless they make the playoffs. They have a winning record where they are separated from their losses in a positive way. Not losses here, wins here. Wins here, losses here. I can't do it anymore. Will not do it. Just ask the Angels. After the Angels went on that cold streak, I stopped watching them because I'm not subjecting myself to it. And like I said, it's not being a bandwagon fan. I've been a fan way too long. I invest in them. They don't invest in me. I pay for merchandise. I haven't been to a game yet, but I was planning on going when they played the Rams in LA, but I'm 100% not going to that game. I'm not going to that game. And I know I'm not the only one because I've seen them talk on social media. Everybody's fed up with this. And it's at home. I mean, losing close period sucks, but especially you got to protect home field. You have to protect home field. Cannot do it, bro. I'm telling you. I will not watch another Panther game this season. I'll just follow it on fantasy football because I'm in the league. But I will not watch another Panther game this year because I am not about to be coming on here frustrated every week because this team lost a game in which they had won. There's no possible, they better hope this is a 2013 type season to where they get out to a slow start and then eventually catch fire. 1-3 turns into 12-4. They got the Giants next week. I'll be camping, so even if I wasn't, I would not have watched that game after what happened today. Would not have. Got the Saints in week 3. Week 4, who they got in week 4? Who they got in week 4? Who they losing to in week 4? One takeaway. Week 1 takeaways, Baker Mayfield leads comeback, but Panthers fall short. Even lead the comeback then. Week 4, they got the Cardinals. They got the 49ers, then the Rams, Bucks, Falcons, Bengals, Falcons, whatever. They have a tough schedule. And by the way they look today, I don't think they can overcome it. Like I said, Carolina will not be getting played in this house. This team is terrible. That was a disaster. I have a reason to overreact. But for everybody else, like Raiders, like I said, Raider fans and some of the other teams that lost today, no reason to overreact. The Raiders will be fine. That was a division opponent. Surely it could be a situation to where they look back at it for playoff positioning or division positioning, and that's one they should have had because they missed out on the seeding. But in terms of postseason, just because you win in week 1, that doesn't mean you're going to the playoffs. And just because you lose in week 1, it doesn't mean you're going to the playoffs. It doesn't mean you're not going to go to the playoffs. But I appreciate y'all for taking this time to hear me out. I'm out. I'm going to bed. The Panthers disappointed me, ruined my Sunday. And I was going to do it on a 4-game basis. If they were 1-3 or 0-4, then I'd be done. But after this one, it took just one game for me to just decide, nope, I can't do it. One game. That's all. Anyway, appreciate y'all for hearing me out. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And see you soon. I think Broncos and Seahawks tomorrow, Monday night. Yeah, peace.